Anything but Chardonnay? Stay tuned, I'll tell you more. So many people are just staying away from Chardonnay, and it doesn't mean that Chardonnay is going away. It doesn't mean that Chardonnay is declining. Actually, if you look at the numbers, Chardonnay is still one of the most popular white wines, if not the most popular white wine. But I think a lot of people think, Chardonnays are all the same, they're inert, they're uninteresting, and I think it's a fantastic wine when it's produced well. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a moment. I think there's a great way of looking at Chardonnay. It could be a very large formatted warehouse wine retailer, and maybe they're going to have a lot of those mass-produced Chardonnays, but I think there's a more thoughtful view of Chardonnay today. I think it's a great call out for a wine region to identify a fantastic wine variety that does its best in that particular region. So for me, Chardonnay, again, is something I don't want on the austere end of just stainless steel and no characterization. So I think oak goes a long way. You need a little bit of it. So Paul Latto, I heard him speak at a Chardonnay Masters class, and he was saying he uses about 80% new French oak, which is pretty amazing. It's expensive, and but I think tasting Chardonnay, it's quite convincing. And he really has said, which I find very interesting, that he's not trying to make oak being the shining characteristic. In fact, it's to mask it in a way. So I like Paul a lot. I think he does a fantastic job with his wines, and I like what he had to present in terms of his wines and his thoughtfulness. Now, Chardonnay is something that I think it's not to stay away from. I think it's a really beautiful wine to enjoy on its own. When it's produced well, again, it's going to be that point where it does have some oak. It does have a heavier characteristic and weight to it, but that's what I want. Especially I'm enjoying with rich cheeses, the risotto. I'm enjoying with roasted chicken or pork. So a lot of things you can do with it, and it harkens back to days when I was tasting beautiful Chardonnay, when it wasn't cool to drink Chardonnay, but I still was. I never gave it up. I did stay away from those oaky, buttery kind, but I think again there's look at Paul Latto and the self-taught winemaker, but really high-scoring producer who's not just dependent on his high scores, but really dependent on being thoughtful and producing beautiful wines. Josh Jenkins, who I think is an outstanding, probably one of the most underrated wine pioneers in California. And I think he, with his winery called Calera down, I think the closest city would be Hollister. So, when I first saw that, I'm like, Hollister, really? But, he's producing phenomenal wines. Chardonnay, he's producing, I believe, a Viognier and Pinot Noir. And I think he's found the right region for it. It's chalk soil, which you don't find a lot of chalk in California, but that's where it is. And I think he is very thoughtful and innovative, and just a great producer in terms of his vision for his wines, his Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and his Viognier. So for me, give a new look at Chardonnay. So this was the Matter Taste Tour put on by Wine Advocate. Now the particular hosts were Lisa Perotti Brown and Jeb Dunnick. So I think these particular wine reviewers, writers were really the great hosts for this particular event, because you also had many of the producers there to talk about their wines. A lot of New Zealand producers, Oregon and California. And for me, it was really that head-on now was that, yes, there's so many different ways of producing Chardonnay. A lot of wild yeast ferment is out there today. Not a lot, I say. There's a good percentage, a good number of producers. And again, I hope that number increases over time, because I think there's very thoughtful wines out there. Wild yeast fermented Chardonnays. So thank you for watching today. I love your comments and questions down below. What do you think of Chardonnay? What are your favorite producers, if you have any? And listen down below. Guess what's down below? The like button. So please hit that. And share this video on your favorite social media, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. So do yourself a favor, enjoy a beautiful Chardonnay with an amazing meal for this particular time of the year, one of my favorite times of the year, which is fall and winter time. So thank you again for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Salut.